Hey, welcome to Hanging Out on Monday nights. Look at the crew we got in here tonight. We got all kinds of people. We got Eric blessing us from upstate New York, which is nowhere near New York City, by the way.
No, not at all.
Nowhere near it. I'm probably
5
close
hours
to New
away.
York City. Not really, but maybe. I don't know. And we have Damon in the house. We have John. We have Eric. We have Jay. We have Buddy. We even have K-Dog joining us. And we have people off camera that are probably going to chime in the chat. And I imagine they would on this topic I'm bringing up tonight. Somebody in one of the help groups asked this question today. What's the standard fee for kickbacks? What percentage do you pay?
Oh, God.
I know. So there were, I saw one person say, typically I do 10%.
Yeah.
But then I saw a lot of other people say, I don't like kickbacks, don't believe in them. I think what goes around comes around. Eric gets a gig, kicks it to me. Thank you. I get a gig, kick to Eric. And we do it because we like each other as DJs and professionals. But I suppose there's another side to it. And there's also the whole banquet facility preferred vendors list. I think we've all familiar with those. But, yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on this stuff? My thought is, well, I'll save my thought. Let's see, who goes first? Let's go to John. John's first.
Okay. I did see the posts, and I read through some of them. You know, the general practice is you're giving away the gig. You want to put somebody on it that can do it as well as you, or it can at least cover whatever the theme is. If it's a birthday, if it's a wedding, if it's whatever it happens to be, you put somebody there. It's handled. Like, I don't look for a cutback. It's just, you're building relationships, and you're going to use somebody that you trust, that you're putting in there. You're not putting a stranger in. Generally, it's somebody you know, because we have a pretty good circle of guys. But as far as once you hand it off, it's their responsibility. It's, you put somebody here that with integrity that you value and say it's going to be okay. But as far as financially, I wouldn't look for compensation for anything for that.
Buddy?
Again, I trade stuff with friends, and that's what you're friends for. Hey, I have a gig coming up. I can't cover it. Are you open this date? Here you go. I'm not looking for anything from my friends. Now, if one of my friends wants to say, hey, you know what? You gave me a couple gigs. Let's go out for lunch. My treat. Okay, fine, great. Something like that. But we can talk, chat.
Here's some Starbucks gift cards, whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
Here, I don't know, Chicagoland, I really don't see places charging for preferred vendors. I've seen places charge for, like, when you do wedding shows for, lists and stuff like that, not being a preferred vendor somewhere. I don't know if that's an East Coast thing or a West Coast thing.
I've heard of it here. I haven't heard of it in a while, and it's usually a very under the table kind of thing.
Yeah, and that to me, it going and smoozing a place and maybe drop it off during the holidays, a snack basket or something like that, or someone working there, it's their birthday. Hey, Susie at such a venue, she always hooks me up with some great gigs. I know Susie likes to drink this kind of wine, or hey, you know what? Here's a gift certificate to a nice restaurant. Again, right there is kind of it's kind of a kickback, but it's not. It's thanking them. It's different.
I think so. I think that's just good business practice. That's swag.
Yeah, it's not. When you say kickback, I think of backroom deals. I think of in an alley, two people come walking up, and they got wearing trench coats, and they're like, hey,
it's tit for tat, basically. It's I don't know. I'd say this is a straight face. Hey, dog, do you have an opinion on this?
Sure. Everybody has an opinion. That's the definition of a DJ is you got an opinion. As far as giving a event to someone else, normally before I do that, I sort of like to get a little bit of background.
Sure.
To make sure that the someone I'm thinking of maybe would be appropriate. And so I will sort of vet them enough that I go, yeah, I got someone that sounds right up your alley. It's my uncle. It's a friend of mine who works for another company, and I've checked and he's off.
Yeah.
Now, if it's one that I'm booking as under my name, then I do take a small booking fee for anything
That's subcontracting. That's different.
But yeah, normally I don't expect anything. I just want to make sure, based on their discussion with them, that I think this person's a good fit before I just
that's very reasonable.
Yeah.
Eric, what do you say?
So,
Which one?
Which
Oh, the
Eric?
other one?
I don't care which. I think good guy Eric spoke first, so let's let him go.
Okay, all right. I was the first one to respond. So, on the DJ help desk, I think that's where it came in today, right?
Yeah.
So I saw it as well, like John did it, and I didn't really read much of it because I'm pretty firm on my beliefs. But where did this person, the DJ, what part of the country are they from? I mean, who was it that went first and said it might be a regional thing?
Buddy?
I'll dig into it and find out while we're talking.
Well, Buddy mentioned it in here that it might be regional.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're in my area. I mean, we do most of the gigs around here, but there are a couple other DJ companies that are local as well. And I trust two of them, and I would hand those off to them. If somebody said, hey, you can't do it, you three guys can't do it, you have a recommendation. But I would never expect anything back. For me, it's like good mojo. Just say, let's cooperate here, let's get along. And, if you got something in the future, we'd love to take it, if it'll work out.
Well, you think also as a company, that's your reputation. It's like, look, I think I have a person who's perfect for what you want done. So I think you should talk to them.
And for a long time, I did not give a recommendation out, but there are two other guys that are local now that have, they've earned their place where I feel comfortable saying, I think that they'll do a nice job for you.
Yeah. That's, and that's why you're Good Guy Productions.
We try to be.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring up something, and then we can come back around to this if you would. So there are a lot of vendors that I work with as well. How do we handle a vendor that is a photographer or maybe a caterer or someone else? So maybe we can talk about that on the tail end of this.
Sure. In the meantime, other Eric. Unmute your mic, other Eric.
Sorry,
there you go.
I'm back.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. You're good. You're whacking a guy.
Yeah. We'll get into that later too. But
you
anyway,
would be one of the guys in the alley.
I got a big trunk. Yeah. But as far as kickbacks go, I'm much like what John just said, and I don't expect let's just say somebody calls me for a gig and I'm already booked.
Right.
I'm booked, but John Cawley is available. Right. I don't want a kickback for that. That's just friends helping friends, right?
Right.
Same thing with John, Now, if it's a wedding, let's just say that I did book, right? And I already got the deposit for, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm sick. Come the date. That's where the kickback comes in. Now they've got, it's not even a kickback. They're going to get what's due, and now I've got to kick back to them what the remainder is.
If it's enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I just had a situation where a guy booked a job, he double booked, and he knows that I won't go out for what he booked it for, so he's got to put money on top of it just so I can cover his contract.
Yeah.
Because
you could call that a kickback, right? I mean, I think that's the same, It
would be more like a subcontract, I think, at that point.
Okay.
I think it would land under that. If you landed and contracted the job, we're not talking about a job you've contracted. We're talking about you just saying, hey, call John, and John gets the call and books the gig, and you're like, hey, John, I need some money. That's what we're talking about for kickback.
Yeah, I don't do that. I don't. Really, I don't. I don't expect a kickback for that or a finder's fee, right? That's another.
Yeah.
Right, they'll call it. Yeah, I don't. You take it. It's all up to you. But
I really, 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 really want to hear what Jay has to say. But if I want to hear what Damon has to say, I need to let him go first. Jay will filibuster around the clock out. So we're going to go Damon first.
No, mine is simple. I'm like everybody else. I don't believe in kickbacks. The crew of DJs and stuff I run with, we just help each other out. I mean, if somebody's double booked, they pass the gig along, and we just keep it moving. So,
yeah, but you form those relationships over time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got about 10 DJs that I'm really tight with, and we don't ask for kickbacks or nothing. So
that's a good number. Out of curiosity, since you brought up your 10 DJs you're networking with, and I hate to even ask this question, but I have to. Are they at various ages? Or are they all kind of our age?
The youngest one is about 38.
Okay,
but the majority of them is anywhere. Yeah, the youngest one 38 up until about 55. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's about my age range.
I recently ran into a situation where I was networking with a bunch of people my age who are all retiring. So I'm like, oh no. So now I'm starting over again with the networking. So neither here nor there, but I'm just curious.
None of us isn't ready to retire yet. We're still trying to hold on.
Yeah.
Well, we all said that when we hit 50, we'll start thinking about it, and then it's one away when we cross that line. And
everybody was gung ho when we started networking together, but I was like,
exactly.
So. All right, Jay, you can unmute your mic and go.
All right. Well, wait. Let me get comfortable. It's going to be long.
I go get a drink. So the whole thing with kickbacks, when I hear kickbacks in the wedding industry, I immediately go to, we'd love to have you on our vendor list, and you throw us 10, 15, 20% of the event.
Right.
And I've been approached probably 20 times with, hey, you did a great job. We'd love to have you as our preferred vendor, but, we require something to come back. And I'm like, I don't pay for, I said, I will tell you what I will do. And I've always maintained this. Some of you have heard me say this. My fee is $2,000 a wedding. I will give you $200 every wedding, but you have to book me 2 to 3 weddings a week, every week for the year.
Or contracted.
So if I do 100 weddings, you're going to get $20,000. I will write you the check now if you get me the contracts. That will mean you book me those weddings. You send me their names. I talk to them for 10 minutes. They've already booked.
Yeah.
And we're good, because to me, that's marketing.
Yeah.
If you guarantee work, but you need pay, it's got to be the guarantee. And when they say, oh, we would just put you on the list, no go. I'm already on lists. I've already got people that send me work.
Yeah.
And they ask for nothing in return, except that I do the best job I can, and that I am always the DJ that shows up. And that's the arrangement.
Right.
So as far as kicking back to a venue, unless you're the preferred and only DJ, which I know DJs that do this, that take less money than they normally would, but they have a venue locked down, and their vision is, after a few weddings, they're going to bring Skippy and Stevie in, who are their backup DJs, and introduce them, and now they're going to go try to replicate this business model for a $900 DJ at a wedding. It's a crappy model. It's a crappy way to work. If you're really good at what you do, people should recommend you. Yes, you should take people drinks. Yes, you should buy them cookies. Have you seen some of the coordinators in this industry? They're sitting at a desk all day doing kind of nothing. They love having you show up with a bunch of crumble cookies or a bunch of Starbucks cards or whatever it is, because they're running around all day. So I think they appreciate the kindness, but I don't think it should be based on talent. I've probably had 4 venues in the last year say to me, wow, that was amazing. Our DJs don't do that. Oh, can I get on your preferred vendor list? Well, we're really good friends with the 3 DJs that are on there. You just told me I do a better job than they do.
Right.
So you'd rather recommend your friend to a client than a better DJ. And I don't want to be that guy, but I will. There are times that you are the best guy in the room. And if you show that, it should rise to the surface. And I think in the long run it does. But I also just kicked a wedding to somebody at a venue where I am the DJ. He said to me when I sent it to him, I said, the pay is this much, knowing it pays more than he charges. And he said, do you need a fee? And I said, no, just do a great job.
Yeah.
It's a venue where I'm the preferred DJ. I am telling the owner that I am sending you in to replace me for this one event.
Right.
Which was my way of saying, don't get any ideas.
Right.
Because when I ran a multi-op,
the times I would fire a DJ because they would hand out their business card over my business card, I'd be rich if I had a dime. So I don't think you should throw DJs a kickback. This is something no one else has said. Take it for what it's worth, boys and girls. You may want to put on your big boy pants for this.
Oh, here we go.
If I throw you a couple gigs and you throw me nothing, I don't care if you're God's gift to the DJ world. You are never getting recommended again. It's a two-way street. Figure it out.
Here's
throwing a gig. Yeah. If I'm throwing you a couple of good-paying weddings and you call me with, hey, do you need any help? Instead of, hey, I got a party coming up on a Thursday, man. You want it? It only pays $700, but, man, it's near your house, this and that. Hey, man, good looking out. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's like buying drinks. If you buy every round and no one ever buys a drink, you stop buying them drinks.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this. I don't keep score, but I know what I'm
doing. In my mind, if I've given you 5 weddings, come on.
Well, no, I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying I don't keep score, but I know what I'm being taken advantage of.
Right.
So that's kind of how I look at it. If, I don't expect anything in return, but...
No, but it would be, but there's an unwritten law, isn't there? I kind of think, and I've actually said to people on the second gig, hey, man, if you have anything that I can pick up, let me know.
Right.
Hey, man, if you need help with anything coming up, let me know. And that's my way of trying to say to them, you've made $3,600 because I said you could, because I gave you the gig.
Well, I'll just say
at what point do you not have to reciprocate and say, hey, man, got this thing, you'd be perfect for it?
I don't help people so I can get something in return. I help people to help people, but I know what I'm being taken advantage of. I mean,
but see, that's the fine line.
I was born at night, but not last night. But we all do it a different way. But
my way of helping you is to not take a fee, because I know a lot of guys are like, throw me back $200.
I will say this
versus no, keep the whole dollar amount, man. Do a great job. I really appreciate it. I can trust you. Trust just goes so long before you know it. You're their main source of income.
So if I refer a job to somebody, I want to refer a job to somebody because I think they're the right person for the job. If somebody refers a job to me, I want them to do it because they feel like I'm a good fit for the client or a good fit for the event. I don't want to do it because I've got a monetary gain coming to me, or I don't want to pay somebody money, because then it's not about talent. It's about monetary gain. It's not about if you're any good or not. It's about, hey, I get paid. The other thing, when you really dive into it, if you want to split hairs, I like to do like a full disclosure with my client. I don't want to, I would feel bad if I didn't. I'd feel like I was keeping something from a client if I were to say to them, because I'm just that guy, because I would do one to others, I would expect the same kind of treatment in return from anybody, or expect it. I'm going to throw you to this guy, and the reason I'm throwing you to this guy is because he's going to pay me $300 if you book with him. So there's something in it for me if you book this guy.
Right. That's a good point.
I mean, if you can say that with a straight face, you have a different moral compass than I have. I wouldn't do it in the first place, but I like disclosure.
Don't you think people, and this sounds bizarre and backwards, but I wholeheartedly believe this. I firmly believe people will work harder on their rep than their money.
I think they should, but
I think they will if you have them understanding that this is something I'm giving you to cover for me and it's my rep. I think if I were to then delve in and say, hey, man, I need a few $100, I've already tarnished the relationship, and I've already given them a little bit of, well, then I'm not going to work $1,800 worth. I'm going to work $1,500 worth. Versus if I say, take the whole gig, I appreciate that you can pick this up and help me. Do you need anything? No, man, just kill it. I appreciate it. I think it's in their head like, wow, I just got all this money from Jay. I'm going to kill it. So the next time Jay needs a cover, he'll think of me. That's sort of like, I've been working with the same DJ company for 26 years.
This is why Jay goes last, by the way.
And he will call me. He's already hired me for that October live karaoke gig again. Why? Because I killed it.
Well, yeah, you're a solid referral.
And the client's like, we want that same thing.
You want a solid referral.
It works.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to put somebody in there who you know is going to knock it out.
If I had to pay him $400 out of pocket that night and it came back around, that bad taste in my mouth might still be there. And I might go, I'm not available that night, man. You're on your own. Ha ha.
Well, you brought something up very interesting that I kind of wanted to circle back to. And that is this, and I didn't express it very well in the video I did on this, but I'm thinking to myself, kind of similar to what you had said. Preferred vendor. Yeah, I'd love to work with you if you want to put me on that list. And if you want money in return for this, how about you earn it? Instead of just throwing them to me and making me sell this, how about you book it for me? Here's my contract. Here's my fee. I'll write the fee in ahead of time. And I'll write, what the hours are ahead of time. And we'll have a structure we set up. If you book the gig, fine. Yeah, you get a commission off of that because you've done the work. But if you're not booking the gig, I'm booking the gig. Eric, you raised your hand like a polite guy.
I did. Yeah, I didn't want to just jump in. So I'll tell you what we do in my neck of the woods is that something like this, instead of throwing them like the $200, I will give them the price that I need to get. And then I go, you can book it. You can mark it whatever you want to. If you want to add 20%, you want to add $300 or something like that. So I guess.
Well, you're dealing with subcontractors, right? This is what we're talking about.
No, not so much. I'm even like thinking of a venue.
Okay.
Where they're going to call me and they're going to hire me to do the job for them, for their client. And I say, this is what I need to get.
Right. Okay, who's the client? The venue or the person having the event?
The venue, I guess.
Okay, then that's different. Yeah.
I guess it's a little bit like what Jay's saying, trying to get on that list where there are a lot of venues where we are the guy that they call. And I just go, this is what I need to get. And you can mark it up as,
I like that. The venue contracts with you for a fee, and if they want to upsell it to the client they've subcontracted to, essentially,
usually 20%.
That's fine. Yeah. You could do it like that. That way you've earned your money, and I get what I want.
So the venue says, hey, Eric, I need a wedding DJ on August 1st, 2025.
Yes.
You haven't spoken to the client.
No, but what I would do is at that point, all my paperwork would go to them. They would contract through the venue. I wouldn't even see it. The venue would pay me. Contract would go to the venue. All the paperwork goes to the client for the most part.
The forms and
because the other way it wouldn't work. Like if I'm at a venue and I go, hey, Eric, we've got a bride that just came in. She just booked for July 5th, 2025. Are you available? You go, yes, I am. You hang up the phone and go, oh, wait. I'm supposed to be at Lake George that weekend, blah, 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 blah. Hey, Jay, can you cover this wedding on July 5th? Sure, Eric. How much does it pay? I normally charge $2,000 at this venue. Okay. So then I'm going to get the client to pay me. But the way you sell it is the client's going to pay you, then you're going to pay me, right?
That's really
You're not giving me the gig. You're doing the gig as your company, and I'm just coming in to cover.
No, we had something like that. We had that last summer. I brought in this guy, Rick Booth. He's out of Springfield, Mass. And this, I'm circling back to
that's your first mistake.
You guys have met Rick. He kind of hangs in my crew.
Bunch of Dropkick Murphy idiots in here tonight. Be careful what you say.
So let's go back to John Colley. John, did you find out the region that comment came from today?
His area is Mesa, M-E-S-A. So I'm thinking it's Arizona or Colorado.
Mesa, California.
Mesa, Arizona?
It's out west, so that's the area.
California,
not East Coast.
Yeah,
they're both out there.
Probably Arizona.
So it's not an East Coast.
I asked that.
Well, because they're in the middle of their wedding season too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is because when I hired Rick to do it, I paid him the full amount that the bride pays me. I charge $18.95 for 5 hours. I was going to pay him that amount to cover for me, and he goes, "You got to get something for this," and he handed me $200. And I didn't deny. I was like, "Okay, that's a little bit."
Yeah, that's very nice of him.
Yeah,
it's. I mean, it's charging him $200 to cover.
Yeah, it's one thing to hook somebody, say, "Hey, look, here's some dinner on me for you and your wife. Here's a gift card for Outback Steakhouse or some Starbucks or a couple bucks." That's different. When it's like, "Hey, thank you," it's very different then I expect this monetary gain for this transaction.
Right.
It's not even a transaction at that point. It's just a suggestion.
Here's
Somebody
the
said, "Hey, you should call
downside.
Jay."
Here's the
They get
downside
money for that?
that I see for Eric. If I'm correct in what he just said, his company was the company that did the event that this guy came and did, correct?
Yes.
So it's your liability, your reputation.
Yes.
See, that's different to me. That's why I don't like subbing DJs. I like
That's a
saying,
different show.
I'm not available. Here's a guy that will do it. But what Eric's doing is, and where it would make sense to get Eric paid, because it's Eric's company's reputation, business name, probably his liability insurance, because the venue's like, hey man, we hired Good Guy Productions, like the guy crashed into our parking lot, you've now got to get it on his insurance. So I could see in Eric's case.
Well, that's the price of doing business as a multi-op, though. I mean, we're a single owner operators. Eric obviously isn't. He's doing big production stuff.
Right. But he didn't just kick it to this guy and say, hey, we're not available. I've got a guy that'll take care of it for you. Eric went so far as to get it under his company name.
He's working under, but he's there representing Good Guy Productions, and Eric wouldn't put somebody in there that he didn't think was good.
But Eric's going to 1099 him at the end of the year.
But here's the real question.
He gets cash.
He's laughing. Yeah.
Here's the real question. Damon, is that a bowling shirt? Or what's
No, it's not. No.
Eric's wearing a polo shirt. Damon is a priest.
Yeah, he's a preacher. That's a preacher shirt. Yeah.
At first, when I was looking at it, I thought that was like a shirt like that had a tie sewed into it or something.
Just white, you know.
Right.
It was on the sleeves too. I mean, you know.
Oh, look at that. You can bowl in that shirt. You can golf in that shirt.
I can golf in it. I got other shirts for bowling.
You got to wear the right outfits for the right activity.
Exactly.
Me, I wear the same thing to everything.
And it's all black.
Yeah, black New Balance tennis shoes. Yeah,
Everything goes with black.
everything goes with black. That's right. Good show, guys. Good show. And we came in at time is good too, so we can put a fork in this and just hang out and talk about other things.
But Brian, one thing we got to talk about is our sponsors.
Oh yeah, them. So,
those guys.
The show is brought to you by DJ Event Planner. In fact, there was just a video that went up on DJ Event Planner recently on the DJ TV channel, which you're watching this on essentially. And I just saw some comments in one of the help groups where people were switching to DJ Event Planner. So DJ Event Planner is one of our sponsors. Keep switching to them because it keeps the lights on here. Thank you for being one of our channel sponsors. Check them out as well as our other sponsors in the description of this video on YouTube.